We bought the costumes, but to show up for your community, they just didn't get here in time, Austin. Sorry.
Oh, what's going on? Well, so hopefully next time you guys have me on, they'll be ready to go.
Yeah. So
Nice.
we have no idea what we're allowed to talk about here, so we're just going to throw it to you. And
What are you doing? What's going on? What's news? There's stuff on the timeline.
Yeah, we talk about the G-Boy launch, the website launch that we had, was it yesterday or 2 days ago at this point, where we're really allowing our community to have a lot of the same tools that we have as a team. So that's been really exciting.
What is NEUKO at the highest level?
Yeah, we have been pretty intentionally unexplicit about what NEUKO is, in part because the space just moves so quickly. And I think what's more important is the feeling that we're generating with our community. Like, are people having fun? Are they feeling like they're a part of co-creating something together? And so NEUKO kind of like is this free-flowing organism that can take on many different shapes. The shape that it's currently in and that we're putting a lot of energy into is G-Boy, which is like the first AI native IP that we're developing. And so this website launch for like the G-Boy official site is really enabling that community to help proliferate the brand. Because traditionally, I mean, you guys know, we've all been in the space for a long time. It's like community is seen almost as like other than in terms of like content creation. Like, yeah, you should create things, and we kind of relegate them to fan fiction. They're never as good as what the team is doing. We very intentionally think that like the future of content creation is really about co-creation and building alongside your community. And the only way to do that is to give them like high quality tools to be able to do so. So we're excited. We're seeing a lot of creations already that rival, what the team has put out, if not better.
Yeah, any tweet that has, I guess, your fingerprints on it just gets brigaded by a bunch of very positive, excited Twitter accounts. And I think saw some, Josh and I, we've been thoughtful about how we grow this 11 a.m. X account. And to see you guys within a week hit 10K after we've been grinding on it to hit 5K today. We hit 5K today. We're very excited about
Congratulations.
It's very notable. And I think
I'm one of them.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. But it's been cool to see sort of some fresh life breathed into, I don't know even what to call it, sort of this, I guess, IP character, NFT space. There's clearly a deep desire for people to feel a part of this. There's a creation and a participation vibe that I think you don't get in any of the other asset classes that I think crypto's sort of in. And yet I think there's a whole lot of doubt left, rightfully earned around sort of the value of these things, or like what is the value here. And it seems as if you guys have a pretty clear thesis on what's essential. Obviously you guys had a lot of experience building doodles and being in the space for a while. So I'm curious, can you maybe talk about the approach at some level?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, you alluded to us, the founding team, all members of Doodles. We've all been in Web3 for more than one cycle at this point. I mean, I originally got into crypto in 2017. I remember all of the early promises of what it was going to look like, the crypto punk type era of like being the new vanguard of decentralization. And we're all going to build this together. And, we're all going to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And then the rubber kind of met the road, particularly in NFTs, where you had a lot of projects do these really hype mints, take a lot of money, and then try to figure out a business model after the fact. And time again, it became that these communities ended up just being people to extract from. And you would see one by one as people left, where they came for a sense of belonging and building something together. And what they ended up getting was, oh, we're just customers. And like, that's a really crappy feeling. Like, we can go be customers anywhere else. There's something really powerful about this idea of like doing with thousands what takes other brands millions of people. I mean, you guys see it, anytime that like the community comes in and like floods any of our posts, it's because they know that they are truly a part of this. Like, we are a decentralized node in the creation of NEUKO and of G-Boy. And so people are coming in and helping us create that. And so we just spent a lot of time thinking about all the things that we hated just about the space in general. And like, it's a pretty big laundry list. I think we thought long and hard about if we wanted to stay in Web3 after we left Doodles. And we took the optimistic approach that if we provided more value than we asked for, if we let people in and allowed them to co-create with them, if at every step of the journey we put the community at the center of everything we do, not as a platitude, but like as the essence of what you see now on the timeline, that people would want that type of energy again. And the biggest compliment we've gotten is that people are like, oh, this feels like 2021 again. Like that makes my heart sing, because that was one of the best years of my life. Like it was such a fun time to be in this space, and to know that like even in the early days, people are making friendships, that they're starting to participate and create and feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. Like we've already won. And so just knowing how much more we have coming, that really excites me.
Can you talk about, I guess, tactically how you went from 0 to suddenly having people care so much about this thing? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you guys, every time you would launch something, like a bunch of the groups I was in would light up because they're trying to solve puzzles or find clues. And, you know, so many people, I mean, us included, are kind of envious of how quickly this thing stood up, and, you know, people cared about it and it resonated with them. So wondering if you could share some kind of tactical.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I talk about like the Nikita post a lot, of like the only ways to like make a business or like to go viral is to like make people have fun, help them get laid, or help them get rich. Like if you're not doing one of those three, you're dead on arrival. The fourth that I would say is also like making them feel a part of something bigger than themselves, like feeling a sense of community and feeling seen. And so one of the early things we did, I think a lot of people, particularly in the Sonic community, may not have known about our backgrounds, and that like we've been in this space for a minute. We know a lot of people. When the account initially launched, we DM'd every individual in the first 1,000 people, and we sent them a link to our meme depot, which we still have never posted publicly, but has 100,000 views on it at this point. It's a top 10 meme depot, and gave them the tools to create. And what they didn't know at the time was we had been leveraging our own tooling for AI content creation to make one of the biggest meme depots that's out there. So that was tactically one of the first things we did, was like do the things that don't scale. Like, hey, we see you, you're a part of this, we want you to grow this with us. The second thing was then rewarding them before we asked for anything. So for the first 1,000 people, we airdropped them badges of varying ranks. Rabbits and moss were the first badges, really as like a token of appreciation. And we didn't promise anything off the bat. We still have never promised anything around them, but it's very much like, we have stated explicitly, like, this shows that you were early. Like, this matters to us. This matters in our ecosystem. It matters that you were here and that you believed in us. And so what you decide to do with that token is your decision. Like, we were very anti soulbound tokens, because like that defeats the purpose of a free market. You're a big boy, you can do whatever you want. But we're watching. And so the next part of that was actually decentralizing the growth of the community, where we gave those early badge holders, the rabbits and the moss, the ability to determine who else gets to come in and get the next set of NFTs, the snakes. And so we rewarded 2 snake badges to the rabbits, 1 to the moss. And, you know, we expected a decent amount of people to go ahead and just sell those, not listen to instructions. But what we saw was like, yep, we had a few people go ahead and do that. It's a free market. But the majority of people, like, they were hosting nomination processes. They were getting on like hour-long Twitter spaces so people could come up and say why they wanted to be a part of the community. Saw people creating so much beautiful art and inspiration. And so that was like another big piece of it. And then we kind of looked inward. So that was everything. We went out. Then we came in with a Telegram release of just like, hey, we want to nurture this core community. We want to know that like who are the true believers, who's a tourist, who's going to leave and just sell this for a bag. Like all of that matters. We're recording all of it. And then the next phase is like, okay, now that we've gone a little quiet, now we go back out. And we've obviously alluded to being at Breakpoint, that being like a very big moment for the brand. And so we've got a lot coming there.
I am very interested in the sort of, I guess, the vision around the tooling approach here. I feel like, you know, well, we've had a number of conversations with you. Obviously, I don't think we've disclosed that we're early investors yet. We should probably make sure we do that.
Yeah.
We have a blanket one, and so we sort of have had a front row seat to the idea maze, and I think have seen others sort of see a similar opportunity, but approach it in a very different way. And that's sort of like this: how do we use the new tools, like creative tools that sort of AI allows, in a way that is actually fun, beneficial, and kind of part of a holistic process, rather than sort of this, people like to talk about the point solution versus like its impact as part of a broader product suite. I wonder if you can kind of comment on both the sort of superpowers you're trying to bring into this ecosystem and the approach you've taken.
Yeah, so we certainly try to think about like what is in the best interest of Gboy as a brand and then the community at large, and then how can you reward those that are creating the biggest amount of contribution. To do that, we think a tool set where you make basically like AI is democratized content creation, but the most of the tooling leads to AI slop. We don't want a bunch of slop on the timeline. That doesn't do anything good for the brand. That just dilutes the brand. And so we want to be able to give people like the same impact of tools that we have, so that there's more high quality on the timeline. We think as part of that, that's like a bucket in the equation of like, what does it look like to be a part of a community? One, it's like your impact and what you're doing to outwardly spread the brand. There's inwardly what you're contributing, how you're interacting with people on a day-to-day basis, like all of the like qualitative metrics or things that we're paying attention to. Like, are you a good person? Are you actually bringing people in so that this is a place that people want to hang out? We're looking at things like mind share overall, and then what's your collective like holdings? Like, are you participating in the ecosystem? So when we do things like NFTs or other types of tokens or whatever the case may be, like we want to be able to track your progression in our ecosystem over time. And so content creation and giving people the ability to create is a big piece of that. It is one piece in a larger play of like, what does it look like to be part of an ecosystem, part of a community, and then be valued for that?
So what's the best way for people who have maybe seen all the Gboys on the timeline? It seems kind of like a hard thing to break into. Like, how do they insert themselves into the center of this community?
Yeah, so one, you can go to just the NEUKO X account, and I would recommend literally just watching the videos. There's 12 of them, I think, at this point, that have passed 1.5 million views in the last 5 weeks. It's very like much a linear story that is being told. I would also go to the Cookie account, like cookie.fun/NEUKO, and you can look at the top people on the InfoFi board. All of them are fantastic and write a bunch of threads. People like Owl and Sins, like they're really, really good. And they do it, if you reach out, they do a really good job of kind of like bringing you into one of the group chats and like helping you get on board. There's a thing where like, we're constantly trying to find the balance candidly of like, friction is a little bit of filter. There is something about when you're doing storytelling like this, if you jump into watching season 3 of something, it's not as impactful as if you start from the beginning. And so we're constantly iterating with ways of like catching people up, but also like do the work, because on the other side of it, like it will make you so much more excited about what we're doing here together. So it's not necessarily a place for tourists, but we do need to like find the right balance there.
Yeah, I think having guides come to bring you in is a very interesting approach.
Yeah, we didn't explicitly ask. It's just they've taken on leadership roles. They feel seen. We're extremely grateful for it. They're like extensions of our team.
People are looking for things to be a part of, right? And
yeah. Oh yes, I mean, market's down, desire for association, connection, all that sort of stuff doesn't go away. I mean, I'm lost here in your X account right now. It's good. All right. Let's leave it there. I think I'm just excited for people to get to see the fullness of what you guys are cooking on. So I think I've done some cryptic tweets on my timeline saying, you should watch this. You should watch this. I think it's proven out that those early calls have been good so far, at least as refers to NEUKO. So it sounds like NEUKO.ai or going to x.com/NEUKOAI.
Yeah, and if you want to get started doing any of the creations, just go to gboyspecial.com. You don't need a badge. You can get started for as little as $5, like a cup of coffee, and you get like hundreds of generations. You've probably already seen a bunch of them on the timeline. And yeah, just get involved in that way. We are doing some big fun stuff at Breakpoint. We're kind of ramping for that, so we're like a little bit quieter right now, but feel free to also just DM me if you're curious and you want to learn more. Like, always happy to have a combo.
Awesome. All right, I know that there's like 4 dudes on the outside of you here right now, all deeply tapping away at their computers trying to figure out something. So creating the next video. So say hello to those gentlemen, and
Will do.
yeah, stoked to see what you guys launch at Breakpoint.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you there.
Peace, man.